All right, hi everybody. Typical white guy here. As I always said, I use that title, typical white guy, because just kind of prefacing everything is that even when I'm complaining, seems I'm often doing that. When I'm complaining about my life, um, it's in the context of being a typical white guy, because I actually have it really good, and I know that, and so the problems I have, the issues I going through, let's keep them in perspective, okay? I'm in so many ways lucky to be here. As you can see, the wall is blank. Um, Still got my Funkos, but I'm, I'm I'm looking for some answers, and I'm trying to find a way forward. I got up today at 4 a.m. even though I didn't have to. That's when I work now. So even on my off days, that's when I wake up. And I remember I've often sketched out like what a great day for me would be. What I envisioned would be my day when I got it all together. And it started off by like waking up at 4 o'clock, and but just because you wake up at four, that doesn't mean anything. There's nothing behind it. If you're not actually doing something, with these video logs, even if nobody sees them, even if they don't make complete sense, at least I did something. I think this is number 21. I've at least put together a series of episodes about my life. I've actually taken the time to sit down and talk through different subjects because I wanted to. You can have all the intentions and great ideas, but if you don't actually produce, if you don't actually put something out there, especially in terms of being creative, if you don't put something out there that other people can take in, it doesn't really matter how smart you are or creative you are or what a good person you are. If you don't actually produce anything, and so where I got the idea of waking up at 4:30 makes you a good person is a good person I know. I grew up admiring Herm Edwards, who was a head coach of the Jets, and I think the Chiefs for a while too. But I remember that he talked about it on a show one day. He said, I wake up every day at 4:30, and they said why, and he said, well, why not? You only got one life. Go do it. And he's a great guy, motivational guy, but his life ain't perfect. I'm sure, and I understand now he'd be the first to say it. I mean, he's been fired. Um, I remember when I actually saw the Hard Knocks, and he was a head coach. I mean, a great guy, enthusiastic, wakes up at 4:30 every day. But even watching it, I could tell like he was a raw coach, but maybe not gonna. I mean, you saw the flaws, and I think. I mean, I've made so many mistakes, so many things I assumed. I look back when I was, that time from 11 to 16, when you're kind of developing who you are, really doing that time. You develop your work ethic, you develop your career drive. And I think I thought that if you were smart and or creative and or wanted something, that things just sort of aligned and you were given those things, or at least provided the path to walk down that road. And no, um, life life doesn't care what you want. Um, and I think, and honestly, I mean, this is I just the further I go, the more I realize how screwed up my thinking was. Because even growing up for me in the '80s, the actors, and I mean, even, and I know it's fiction, but it's still a reflection of life. The actors I grew up admiring, that I thought had the life, had everything. Um, Eddie Murphy, Bill Cosby, Robin Williams, Tom Cruise. I mean, these were my movie, TV, comedy idols growing up. And in my head, I remember thinking, they've got it all. They've got it perfect. And now you've been able to see the arc of their life. And boy, I mean, Bill Cosby is in jail. Robin Williams killed himself because of depression. Eddie Murphy had an up and down career. He even said it was kind of his choice, that he made a lot of money, and then he was like, "Hey, I've got kids. I just want to be a solid family man, make family movies, and just rake in the dollars." And he good to go. Or even my, the fictional heroes. I think that was something with the new Star Wars movies. Growing up with the original trilogy, Luke, Han, and Leia destroyed the Death Star. They're celebrating on Endor. Life is good. And, 30 years later, they come back to the movies, their story, and it turned out life wasn't that good. Because that's the way life goes. Life doesn't, you don't reach a peak, you don't reach an achievement and then just stay there. Life, I've got two quotes up on the wall's empty. I moved my family pictures and stuff, but this kind of represents where I'm at right now. It's a blank, it's a blank slate. I'm going to fill it. I'm definitely filling it. I don't know with what yet. But right now I've only got two things up here. I've got them, and I've got two quotes. One is from the movie Rocky Balboa. He's talking to his son about life. And just to kind of paraphrase, he says, nothing will hit you harder than life. It will, if you let it, it will drop you to your knees. And it's not about how hard you can hit. It's easy to hit others. It's easy to be mean. It's easy to be cold, to blow them off, to remind them of what they've done to you. That's easy. The hard part is taking a hit and keep coming back. This is not what I expected. But sometimes I feel like, it's going to sound weird, but I do feel there's something larger than this. I feel God. I feel words and thoughts come to me that they're not mine. And I feel like God kind of speaks to me through my mind, through my intellect. And Grandma kind of speaks to my heart. And beginning of this month, I just had kind of where it said, all right, Act 3. I'm 46. I'm much too old to be where I'm at. That's my fault, though. Anyway. But so, my dad just passed. And he was 69. So, I've always been a numbers guy. I'm 46, so if I've had two acts, and I've got 23 more years, that's 69. Now, I don't know if that means it's my last act, but I definitely felt the signal that I'm in my next act. And I think that's, so the quote from Rocky Balboa is, that life will hit you, and it's about how hard you can get hit and keep going forward. In a lot of ways, and this is kind of the beauty of life too, it doesn't matter how my first or second act went. And maybe that's a mistake a lot of people make that have a great first or second act. Like the people I admired. They have these they get off to a great start, and then you get comfortable. You don't think you got to work as hard. You think everything's going to come as easy as it did. Well, I definitely know, I've definitely been made aware that life doesn't come easy. That if you want something, you have to go after it. And you have to go after it every day. And just because you get up early, that still doesn't mean you're productive. You don't get rewarded for every right thing you do. But every right thing you do, you eventually do see a reward. That is true. And I think, like I said, I don't know how much this is the lessons I'm still learning. There's contradictory lessons. They tell you to let go of your past. They tell you to learn from it. How can you learn from it if you don't constantly or periodically keep in your head what you did? So I don't know what to do with the past. I'm still wrestling with that part of it. But damn it, I told myself, it's been a while since I've done this. I'm doing more of these. YouTube's got plenty of room. They there's more to do. And like I said, I don't know if anyone's ever going to see this, but before I close here, I do want to thank a lady named Kylie Ross, she's a senior on the Baylor women's soccer team. She started a video log, I guess a little over a month ago. And just her path in life. And again, maybe it's not all going to work out for her. I hope it does. But where she's at now, it's just watching her on a daily basis as a college athlete showed me how important it is and fun it can be to lead a good and structured and happy life. I know that seems obvious, but those things don't just happen. You have to make them happen. You have to decide to be happy. You have to decide to do the work without always the reward that you want to do. I want this. And this wall is going to fill up, and this channel is about to get a whole lot of material. Act 3. Let's do it. All right. Thanks for listening.